long time ago and knew it was best to sit tight and wait for the connections to bubble to the surface. His throat was working now. He tried to swallow, but his mouth was as dry as newspaper. More breathing. From his pitch-black prison, he could hear the distant sound of crashing waves. The beach. He was near the beach. Okay, good. Behind it, he could hear the chatter of people talking and laughing, some close, some distant. He focused on these voices, trying to place them with faces, but they were unclear, and what he could hear didn't sound familiar. A moment later, there was a booming sound, followed by a crackle and the roar of applause. Fireworks. Today's the 4th of July. Then it all came to him in a vivid rush of color and clarity. He had been in the club's dining room, looking out the large bay windows at the sunshine and reminiscing about the great 9 holes he had just played when he found himself locked in the grips of one of Mr. J.D.'s patented benders. Round after round for himself and his friends. Sweet Jesus. Hours later, when the sun started to give way to the early evening shade, he glanced haphazardly at his watch, and it hit him like a punch to his gut. He was supposed to meet Ashley at the house 15 minutes ago. They had plans to spend the evening on the Cranmores' boat. No wonder he had been drinking. The Cranmores walked around as if they were royalty, smug in their preppy clothing, talking about their villa in France and ski house in Vale. His wife loved them dearly. He remembered thinking he could fudge the driving part, but on the off chance that he was pulled over, he would have to convince one of Marblehead's finest that he was clearly sober, and even if the cop did let him go, they always did, the end result would still be that he was late. Instead of sitting in the boat, sliding back into J.D.'s patented comfort and guessing which parts of Sophia Cranmore's body had undergone plastic surgery, he would have to listen to Ash chew out his ass, and he was never in the mood for that. Once he had slapped her mouth shut for her. In turn, she had removed all the booze from his hiding spots and flushed it down the toilet. She even froze his credit cards and refused to give him his allowance. Definitely best to appease her. The cab dropped him off, he remembered that, and he clearly remembered opening his bedroom door to a strange but pleasant sight. Ash should have been dressed in that unflattering black Calvin Klein number, sitting on the bed with her legs crossed and staring at him with eyes full of murder because once again he had come home late, sun-baked and polluted. Instead, she was dressed in a pair of old white shorts and a faded blue Nantucket t-shirt, lying face down on their king-size bed. She appeared to be passed out. Ash was known from time to go on benders herself. 3 glasses of wine was all it took. Lights out, good night, folks. But this was out of character for her. He had walked over to the bed and started rubbing her back. She didn't wake up, didn't even move. To his surprise, he felt the lonely thing between his legs spring to life. His wife, Ash, was no great lay, not like that nurse at the hospital, Fire Crotch, a hot little minky with flaming red pubic hair and a very uninhibited appetite. But that affair had just recently ended, and rather badly, and what he was left with was Ash. So he stood in the hot bedroom, rubbing her back and getting himself worked up, and ignoring that just last month when he had turned 54, he had discovered blood in his urine and semen. He had started to lift up her top, and then... Shit, he couldn't remember. More breathing. More sweat. People outside laughing. His body came back on. A slow but steady pounding sprang to life deep behind his temples. Next would be the tremors. If he could get to the bottle quick, he could head them off, maybe even the vomiting. He felt the curved coolness of the headboard.